Here is a futuristic view of a metro rail network for Sharjah, created by an Emirati student who wishes to submit the plan to His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, member of the Supreme Council and ruler of Sharjah. A rail network running up to 108 kilometers, with 4 lines, 5 interchanges, and 37 stations, forms the project of Ahmed Mohammed Jahil, a 4th-year student of Geography and Urban Planning in the UAE University in LA. A survey showed that people demand the metro more than any other transport mode. The metro will also enhance the sustainability in the city by reducing environmental pollution through less consumption of fossil fuels, and will increase mobility and accessibility. Jalil said one of the objectives was to connect it with the metro in Dubai, to streamline the transportation between the two cities. The real purpose of the Sharjah metro can be met when it joins the already existing Dubai metro, and also goes till Ajman. A solution to this would be Dubai landlords reduce the rent for each property. The amount of people commuting every day from Sharjah to Dubai, or vice versa, will decrease, meaning there will be fewer cars on the road. Therefore, the traffic congestion will also decrease. However, there has been political conflict between the two emirates in the past. Therefore, instead of connecting the metro lines, there should be a station on each side of the border between Sharjah and Dubai. Passengers can then get off this one station, cross over the border and enter the station of the other emirate and continue the journey. During rush hour, most of the traffic is caused by children commuting to school and back. Many children study in another emirate, usually taking an hour to commute. Therefore, the UAE government should enforce a law that states, if the public school is out of a certain zone, the student may not study there. In 2009, the Sharjah government planned an operating ferry system. The ferry system has been planned to provide passengers with the facility to travel along the creek and the expanding coastline without getting stuck in traffic jams, said engineer Aissa Al-Durasi. The planned ferry service will provide a smooth commute along Dubai Creek, Dubai coastline, and between Sharjah and Dubai. In 2011, the improvement of other public transport options hit business, for example, buses. Therefore, civilians chose not to make use of the ferry system in Sharjah. However, today the amount of civilians making use of Sharjah buses is decreasing every week. The Sharjah government should now reinvest in the Sharjah ferry system, operating between Dubai and Sharjah, especially during rush hours, because of the amount of people commuting increases weekly. The large amount of carbon dioxide produced by cars also contributes to global warming. Vehicles should have GPRSs. This will inform drivers to drive in the right direction with less traffic congestion on roads. This will also help avoid unnecessary driving if you don't know the exact location. The government has to provide the GPRSs in a subsidized rate. The Sharjah government should build underpasses and overpasses instead of having junction points. Therefore, drivers will not have to wait at the 4 junction points, waiting for the other cars to pass or cross to the next lane. Many roads in Sharjah do not have sidewalks along them, making Sharjah an unwalkable city, as it is difficult and dangerous for pedestrians to walk around. The Sharjah government should invest in small paths alongside major/busy roads, one for only walkers and one for only cyclists. This solution will make it easier to travel from one point to another and lessen the chance of being run over. Having these bicycle paths will also decrease the amount of vehicles on the road, meaning less road accidents and less carbon dioxide emitted into the air. People dashing across the streets have been a concern for authorities in Sharjah as well as motorists. Lieutenant Colonel Ahmed bin Darwish, head of the patrol department of Sharjah Police, said, despite the intensive awareness campaign launched by the Sharjah Police, Jaywalkers and reckless drivers were still involved in violating the traffic law and committed offences. He warned pedestrians against crossing the roads from undesignated areas because it was a crime punishable by the UAE traffic law. If a pedestrian is caught crossing the road from an inappropriate area, the offence will attract a fine of 200 dirhams. In 2014, 3 bridges were constructed. The first bridge was constructed next to Ansar Mall in Etihad Road, linking Mamza and Al Nahda. The second bridge was constructed over King Abdulaziz Street between Bu Daning and Abdu Shahara, next to the petrol station, while the third bridge was constructed over King Faisal Road between Al Majaz 1 and Abdu Shahara, near HSBC Bank. Today, road accidents from jaywalkers still occur. Therefore, the Sharjah government should invest in more footbridges over major and busy roads, not only 3 of them. The Sharjah government should also invest in new signs to point pedestrians to underpasses, overpasses and footbridges so they don't jaywalk. Sharjah doesn't have a sewer or storm drainage system. Therefore, during rain season, rainwater can't drain away. This is known to cause floods on Sharjah's roads. The Sharjah government should build an underground sewage system that will help drain excess rainwater. Critics say that building an entire sewage system in Sharjah isn't feasible. However, England built the Thames in London. The roads in Sharjah are all flat and the drainage system is negligible. When it rains, the rainwater floods all the roads. The Sharjah government should begin to construct roads that are slanted on the edges. Therefore, in the future, when it rains, the excess rainwater will follow gravity and run down the sides of the roads. The flood will only be on the sides. Cars will drive in the centre and not be affected by the rainwater. A system like this exists in many European countries, for example, the Netherlands, Germany, etc. The beer company manages all recyclables in Sharjah. However, when the waste is delivered to the recycling plant, it isn't pre-sorted. A solution to this would be for the Sharjah government to invest in more recycling bins that can be placed in front of each house. 1 bin for glass, 1 bin for paper, 1 for plastic, 1 for aluminium, etc. This routine of each household sorting their own waste encourages recycling throughout the entire emirate. Sharjah should invest in digital signs like Dubai has. Therefore, drivers will be able to see the signs easier whilst driving at night. This will also make it easier to update the signs, as new roads are always being built. The speed limit written on the sign should also be decreased. Both of these solutions will depress the amount of road accidents and deaths per year.